Hi there, it's Kevin Van Ord here, standing in for reviewer Jason Venter to tell you about Glare. You are the Shiner. The Shiner is a powerful guardian with a single objective: to obliterate the darkness spreading across the galaxy. Armed with a magical light that allows you to push away foul mist and nasty creatures, you advance through a series of treacherous environments, banishing all that is murky. Glare is in many respects a conventional 2D platformer. The unique hook in this case is your ability to cast a bright beam on enemies and the world around them. At first, you use the dazzling beam to repel projectiles and push away the floating purple aliens that crowd your space, but the beam's use soon expands. Shadowy plant life in the background is brought to the foreground when you shine light in the right spot. Switches can also be activated, producing zip lines and other helpful means of navigation. Early on, you gain the ability to fire bullets, but you must often choose between illumination and firepower. In tough spots, controlling crowds of strange beasts means alternating. You start your tour of the galaxy by exploring a verdant forest environment known as Tree World. From there, you go on a voyage through the expected environmental tropes. Monsters roam in the alien environs, but fights against these beasts are just an afterthought. Your most fearsome opponent is the generous supply of spiked vines that flourish on each planet. Brushing against the razor-sharp barbs spells instant death, even if you've taken no prior damage. Sometimes those vines seem cheap in areas you're forced to hurry through, but the generous checkpoint system keeps you from losing too much ground. Glare's controls are every bit as responsive as they should be in a game of this sort. You begin with the ability to jump long distances, bound up walls in narrow vertical shafts, and rush down slopes. Special pedestals you come across in each level grant access to additional moves, which are generally passive and don't require additional input to enjoy. Mild puzzle elements provide occasional interludes, but they're boring and traditional and usually require you to find a missing piece to a machine that allows you to open a locked door. A more successful attempt to vary the tempo comes elsewhere, such as when you ride winged creatures across fields of spikes while blasting enemies out of the air. The game could have used more inventive moments like these. As it is, the central beam mechanic isn't enough to make Glare feel like more than an ordinary action platformer. At least the bosses keep things fresh. Most of them briefly turn the game into a twin-stick shooter along the lines of Geometry Wars. The foe at the end of each successive stage becomes more difficult than the previous one, but the process is never overly frustrating. So Glare is satisfying as it goes, it just doesn't go far enough. The light shining mechanic never goes very deep. There's no obvious benefit to seeking the hidden artifacts hidden in most levels, and you don't get to use abilities gained in later stages when you head back to earlier ones. The game keeps track of your best completion time, but there's no way to share your triumphs online. Glare offers an inventive mechanic that could have given rise to a memorable adventure, but then fails to build meaningfully on that early promise. This is an entertaining pit stop that can tide you over on your journey to a bigger, brighter galaxy.